Hello everyone, Sir Monkey Suit Zappy here, back again with Kuroko no Basket. We are on episode 2, and in the last episode, I should say the first episode, we were introduced to our school that we are going to be backing throughout the entire show, and the main partnership that consists of both Kuroko, who is the Phantom Sixth Man, who the show is basically named after. He's the best support boy that you could possibly have because he is practically seemingly invisible at sometimes, but yeah, he uses misdirection and stuff like that, and he's got some quite good passing ability on him. So yeah, it's going to be interesting to see him pull out some incredible passes throughout the show. And the other half of that partnership is Kagami Tiger, who was basically built for basketball, and he went over and studied in America, and basically that's where he's gotten. Well, that's where they seem he's got his sort of his knowledge and prowess for basketball from over there. So yeah, can't wait for them to go up against the likes of the Generation of Miracles, who we were kind of introduced. Like, I mean, we weren't introduced to by character names, but you know, we could kind of see them in the little opening thing that they had, and that was yeah. So they were from Teiko Middle School, and each one of them has moved to a different school. Of course, I believe it's probably just due to like not wanting to be in each other's shadow and wanting to prove that they are the best out of the Generation of Miracles. You know, so of course we're going to be getting all of these schools going up against each other, and yeah, I can't wait for it. Especially considering the fact that Kuroko is 100% certain that that Kagami isn't even on any of their levels right yet. So you know, it's going to be great to see these go against up against one another and whatnot. So yeah. Other than that, you know, the soundtrack is fantastic already, and we've got Kagami, who wants to reach, like, to be the best, you know, basketball player in Japan. Kuroko's like, you know, you're going to need help, and he's going to be the guy to help him get there. So yeah, this partnership's cool, and yeah, I don't think there's anything else to really talk about, so we're just going to get in episode 2 and see what we get. So without further ado, let's go. Okay, episode 2. Alright, so we've got our first look at one of the Generation of Miracles. He looks a bit like Gilgamesh, doesn't he? From Fate. Doesn't look too dissimilar. Alright. Damn. Kuroko even said that, like, I thought before, when they were saying that Kagami may be, like, we may be able to defeat the Generation of Miracles and stuff like that, and I was saying, like, oh shit, like, they're underestimating them here. And then Kuroko, like, had like a look where he said, like, he was basically looking at everyone say this, and I was like, well, Kuroko knows. But then it did, like, the flashback to what happened in episode 1, and he says, I did say that, but, and I thought maybe he had twisted, like, he had sort of flipped it around a bit, and he thought that maybe, like, he was thinking like them, that, you know, and he wasn't like overestimating them anymore. But then as soon as Kisei came in and friggin' outdid Kagami, seems as though they've gotten way better since middle school, which puts them even on a higher pedestal. So yeah, it apparently has some sort of like, Kisei himself has some sort of thing with imitation, so he sees what people do, like what his opponents do or anyone that he's looking at, and then copies their sort of thing, which is interesting. So what, has he got like some kind of photographic memory or something? Because even the coach was saying, like, that's not even just simple imitation, that's like almost like to the letter. But even then, Kagami was saying that he's quicker and stronger. So is it a case of like Kisei has got something of sort of proving to everybody else that I can do what you do, but I can do it better, kind of thing, you know? Damn. I can't wait. I want a match. I'm thinking there's going to be a match next episode, and I hope so. Even though I'll have to wait until next Tuesday, but I can't wait. So yeah, right, so from the very beginning, yeah, I realised, I thought this in the episode that I watched yesterday, the first episode, that the little intro thing that they've done for the past 2 episodes, I imagine that's going to continue on, like, through, I don't know, it might be through the whole show for all I know, but it sounds very Resident Evil-y to me. Like, that little piece of music that they use in the very opening, like, wouldn't go. It's not too far or too dissimilar from like Resident Evil, like classic Resident Evil soundtrack stuff. You could like hear that in a save room, playing, and it would sound right in place. I just thought it was interesting because Resident Evil is one of my favorite games anyway. So anytime I can bring it up, I'll bring it up. Okay, so yeah, so the coach got everybody that was sort of they gave people an application the first years, right? But then in order for them to even get into the team itself, they had to go up to the roof and basically tell everybody their ambitions and goals from the roof when there was an assembly going on outside. I can't believe Kagami just fucking jumped up on top of the railing. Like, that's nuts. I mean, normally in like, I feel like in Japan they have on the roof because you're allowed to go up to the roof in school. Or it seems that way anyway. That they have like a massive sort of like, it's fenced off all the way around. It's not just a railing. You know, I guess not in this school though. So yeah, and then the captain, who is Hyuga, I believe. Because he looks very similar to the guy that was on the table last episode with the coach, right? And she said Hyuga, so I think it is Hyuga. Unless it's a fucking nickname, I don't know. But he goes by Hyuga now because I haven't heard another name. So yeah, he's the captain anyway. Whatever. He was saying that yeah, it helps them to focus, and it's going to become a tradition for every year for them to do it. So yeah, I quite like it. I can't believe they cut off Kuroko's. He had a fucking I can't believe he had a bloody a speakerphone. Where the fuck did he get that thing from? Anyway, so yeah, we had like the sort of deja vu scene where they were back in like McDonald's or whatever. Kuroko was talking about how Teiko was all about winning. Of course, like, you know, I feel like that's in a sports anime. There's always the one team that cares about winning over everything else, and it's the team suffers because of it. I felt that was what it was like with Shiratorizawa and Haikyuu. That they were the teamwork was second fiddle to winning. So, you know, but yeah, so Kuroko did confirm the whole thing of like the reason why Kuroko didn't go and join their other schools was because he wanted to beat them in his own way. The same reason why Kisei would have went to what is it Kaijo, because I assume to be able to go and beat the likes of the other prodigies that were there as well, you know. Interestingly enough, yeah, so him being with the worst of the bunch, that's like, yeah, I mean, it's very convenient, I suppose, for the story that of course you wouldn't put the strongest one like immediately, would you? But yeah, it serves as a sort of purpose for you, like, you know, they are on another level, and if the worst of the bunch is this good, just imagine how the top of the bunch is. But it also works in terms of like, you know, progression as characters. When you get them doing the training and stuff, they'll train up to beat Kisei, and then it'll just be moving up the ranks of like until you get like to the guy that's at the very top. So, you know, and yeah, there's fucking I want to see this match. I want to see it now. It is interesting. Sort of there seems to be almost a similarity with Kisei and Kuroko, which I feel like wouldn't reign true for the rest of the prodigies, because he was saying that like he used to get bullied because he was the worst of the bunch, but also him being like less experienced. The article or whatever that they were reading was saying that he was a sort of an all-rounder type player. So yeah, I mean, it's going to be interesting as well. I suppose if Teiko was all about winning, then I suppose it's not a case of the generation of miracles all being like different positions, you know. Because I figure like they would all be like sort of aces in their own right, you know. But if he's getting bullied for being the worst of the bunch, then I feel like because if the generation of miracles themselves had different positions, then you can't really bully somebody for being the worst of the bunch. Yet surely he would be better in a certain position than somebody else who's bullying him for being, even though, you know, like if someone's like more of like a defensive kind of guy, because I feel like Kisei doesn't strike me as a defensive guy. I mean, well, it said that he's an all-rounder, so I guess he can do like pretty much all of it. But that's probably why he's the weakest of the bunch, because generally if you're a jack of all trades, then you're a master of none, you know. So it means that, you know, you lose ability across all different positions, like all different positions, because you can do every one of them at a really good level. But because of that, you never get higher than that across the board, you know. But I mean, that could be down to Kisei himself. Like if he's not really focused on one position and doing that thing and working at that, then I guess he never would. But I guess that probably fits into like this imitation thing that he's got going on, because if he's imitating other people, then he's not just focusing on one person and imitating them. I'd feel like he would be imitating everybody on the court, right? That includes defenders and everything like that. So I guess, you know, I guess it makes sense that that he's just an all-rounder, because he just copies everybody else. But yeah, it's going to be interesting, this match anyway that's coming up. I mean, it would not surprise me if Kaijo ended up winning it, because, you know, I have this thing now, like, for sports anime, even though Haikyuu like changed it up on me. I was expecting like Haikyuu going a lot differently in some, like, at some points, but like I feel like I can usually pick out the reasons, or a logical reason why, you know, why Seirin would not beat Kaijo at this point, because then it would just sort of diminish Kisei as a prodigy, right, and a part of the Generation of Miracles. So, you know, but you know, it's kind of, it's sort of forgetting the idea that it's Kisei on Kaijo, right? But we don't know the other team members of Kaijo right now, and how good they are. But you know, we have to remember that you've got Kagami on our team, which is sort of like, you know, could he fit within that sort of Generation of Miracles type mold? It feels like he's the character to do so. You know, but like, not only do you have him, but you've also got Kuroko assisting him. So, you know, it's it could be set up to be like a really sort of like close match or whatever, because in a sense, if you're not talking about the other teams, you're talking about Kuroko and Kagami versus Kisei, then, you know, it's 2v1, meaning that they have the advantage kind of thing in that regard. But because Kisei is so good by himself, like it means that you don't have to worry about it diminishing Kisei completely if it's a close game. It might if Seirin were to actually win, but you know, it's something we'll just have to wait and see. But yeah, that's all I've got for episode 2. So yeah, I can't wait for the next episode. So yeah, so this should be out for early access to our patrons on the today, on the Thursday. So that's the 17th of October. And it should be out for the general public on Tuesday. Hold on, I need to find out what this is. Tuesday, the 22nd. All right. So for those of you wondering, you can when this is out on YouTube for the general public, you can get access to episodes 3 and 4 right now by going down to my Patreon and getting the early access tier. Episode 3 and 4 will be out on that Tuesday. And yeah, but if you can't afford that or anything like that, then you can just wait until the following Tuesday, and then episode 3 and 4 will be out for the general public then. Okay, right, but that is all I've got to thank you for watching. In the description below, I've linked certain things. One of them is the Discord, so you can get yourself over there, and I do have a Patreon page as well. So if you do want to support me on Patreon, that'd be very much appreciated. There is a bunch of different tiers and rewards depending on how much you want to support me with. So there's the obviously early access tier, like I said, $5 a month gives you access to shows a week early, and you get 4 episodes of Hunt x Hunt every week as well. So if you're interested in that, then you can go you know, get that tier and enjoy those. There's also full length as well. So if you do want to see my my reactions in complete full without any skips, then yeah, that's what you want to go get there. And there's also other tiers there where you can pay to have a certain show reacted to as well. So if you want me to react to a certain show, then go have a look at those. But that is all I've got. So thank you for watching. I'll see you all next time. Bye bye.